Hi, welcome to Fayetteville Public Library's Preschool Storytime. I'm Allison and I have got a real treat for you today, and I mean it, a real treat. Instead of a craft after the two stories I'm going to read to you, we're going to make something that you can snack on, and I'm going to tell you what it is after the stories. But before we begin with our food-themed story time, just a couple of announcements. Our 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program has been reworked, and so if your child isn't already enrolled, please come on by and take a look at the little booklets and get your child registered to participate in this really wonderful program that gives them a strong start in literacy. And the other is just to give you a heads up, in June we're going to be going to a live stream storytime format rather than our story times being recorded. We're getting closer to in-person story times, not quite there yet, but we are moving in that direction. So just a couple of things to keep in mind. All right, well, let's get started with our two yummy books. The first one is called Wild Boars Cook. This is Boris, this is Morris, this is Horace, and this is Doris. They are wild boars. They're bossy and selfish and stinky and hungry. Look at that one sitting on top of the cookie jar. And then you see the other one with their head stuck down in the trash can. Boris is so hungry he could eat 35 hot dogs and a bushel of bonbons. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Bad Boris. Look at that. Going to town on those hot dogs and bonbons. Morris is so hungry he could eat a pineapple upside down cake, 10 pickles, and a boot. Munch, munch, munch. Naughty Morris. Yum, pickles and pineapple upside down cake. Horace is so hungry he could eat a pizza as big as the moon. Yum, yum, yum. Horrid Horace. I think I could eat a pretty big pizza, but not one as big as the moon. Doris is so hungry she's eating a cookbook. That's a different way to go about things. But wait, Doris has found a delicious recipe. A recipe for the biggest, messiest, stickiest, gooeyest, chewiest, most delicious pudding in the whole wide world. Watch out, everybody. Wild boars are making a massive pudding. Let's see about those ingredients. First, they measure out the ingredients. 10 cups of sugar, shouts Morris. 500 chocolate-covered chocolates, roars Boris. And a gross of donuts, squeals Horace. Do you know how many a gross of donuts is? It's 144. Could you eat 144 donuts? Oh my goodness. And lots of broccoli, shrieks Doris. Broccoli? Would you want broccoli in a pudding? Everybody stops and stares. Broccoli in a massive pudding? Sorry, says Doris. Almost all the ingredients went into the massive pudding bowl. It's too dry, sobbed Boris. It's too small, wailed Morris. I'm hungry, howled Horace. So Doris added 1.5 puddles, a bucket of squishy butter, 26 bananas, and a squid, then started to whisk briskly. Butter, puddles, bananas, and a squid. How does that sound? Ugh. Look how they're stirring the pudding with their tails. Ew. All the boars joined in. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Stir, stir, stir. Cook, cook, cook. And out came the most beautiful, massive pudding in the whole wide world. If you say so. Look at that. Can you see all the ingredients? Can you see the donuts and the bananas? And the chocolate-covered chocolates. And then what else? What do you see on top? The squid. Oh. Now, do you think Boris and Morris and Horace and Doris sat with their hands folded and their napkins in their laps? Did they pass the biggest piece to the wild boar on their left? Did they say thank you and chew with their mouths closed? What do you think? I bet they didn't. Nope. Of course not. They gulped and grabbed and smashed and snatched and pushed and prodded and choked and chewed and ate that massive pudding in 10 seconds flat. Delightful, moaned Boris. Delicious, groaned Morris. Divine, burped Horace. It was my idea, said Doris. And they all lived happily ever after for 5 whole minutes. Until... I'm still hungry, cried Boris. I'm still starving, wept Morris. Everyone got more than me, howled Horace. Look at him with that bowl on his head. Never mind, said Doris. I think I've found another recipe for a massive cookie. Let's see. It's got chocolate chips, gumdrops, M&Ms. I don't know about the gumdrops, but at least there's not a squid in it. And away they went with their next recipe. All right, the second book in today's yummy story time that I'm going to read to you is There Are No Bears in This Bakery. There are no bears in Little Bear Bakery. I'm the whiskers of this neighborhood, and if it flutters, scurries, or scampers here, I know about it. The name is Muffin, and this is my tale. See him sleeping on the bench in front of the bakery? He's on guard. Each night the moon rises, the bread rises, and I rise. The air cools and the sounds get interesting. That's when the night shift begins. Scratch, scratch, squeak is the mouse behind the bakery. See him stretching. Clang, crash, crunch, crunch is the raccoons in the dumpster. Snip, snip, flap, flap is the bats visiting the barber shop. I thought I knew all the night sounds until last night. Do you see those raccoons in the dumpster? They're cute. But boy, they can make a mess. Last night, after the sun rolled off the edge of the sky, a mysterious new sound rumbled over the windowsill. Look at its big eyes. What is that noise? I stepped out to investigate. The air was cool and wet like a dog's nose. The alley was empty. No mouse, no raccoon, not even a bat. The bakery's back window was open like a crooked smile. Slipped into the darkness like icing melting down a hot cake. Inside, I listened for clues. Maybe it was a mouse. Mice love sprinkles. And that's when I saw it. It was the biggest mouse I'd ever seen. Look at that kitty's eyes. Oh my goodness, and his ears are flattened. He's feeling a little scared. What do you think that is? Grrr, it was the smallest bear I'd ever seen. I was surprised. The bear was surprised, but my tail was the most surprised. Look how floofy that kitty cat's tail is. The bear's looking pretty spooked too. Grrr rumbled from the bear's belly. Up close, the bear smelled like old socks, cinnamon, and adventure. The problem was clear, and I was on the case. The rumbling grew softer and softer until burp. For a moment, everything was quiet. figured out that bear just wanted a snack. You see him with the cake cover over his head? And there they are in the case of sweets. Looks like he's helping him with donuts. Oh my goodness, he's getting all of the goodies. For a moment, everything was quiet. Too quiet. I heard snuffling sounds behind me. I had a tail. My tail had a tail. There was something in the darkness. Look at the bear's expression. Like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. And there's the kitty cat. What do you think is in the darkness? The darkness had eyes, and they were looking at me. My whiskers trembled, and my paws shook. It was an enormous bear. It smelled like the dumpster on a hot day and rumbled louder than the vacuum cleaner. That's loud. Suddenly, it was lights out. Everything went dark and I couldn't move. I was smushed like a muffin between the couch cushions. What do you think has happened? I was in the middle of a giant bear hug. It was warm like a bath mat in the sunshine. It smelled like that bath mat needed a bath. You see? Look at that mama bear giving him a big ol' hug. How does he feel about that, though? His eyes are still pretty big, aren't they? There was a low rumble somewhere in the fur. Oh, wait. That was me. He was purring. It turns out big bears like sprinkles, too. Light began to nibble at the edges of the window. It was time for naps. Even my shadow was sleepy. I made sure the bears got on their way safely. The sun rose and stretched like a yawn down the alley. The bears rumbled back to the forest. The night shift had ended, and my job here was done. There they go. And he's watching them. Good guard, kitty. So, that's it. Another case closed by Muffin. No bears in Little Bear Bakery. Not anymore. I took care of them. It was a messy job, but I handled it. And now it's time for a nap. By the way, we're out of donuts. Look at the owner of the bakery. She's wondering what has happened. Can you see the shadows of the bears? Isn't that a fun story? I love that. I like how the kitty cat helps them get snacks. Okay, speaking of snacks, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sign off, and then it's going to roll over to a little slideshow, and the pictures are going to show you how to make a very simple treat. It's banana, peanut butter, chocolate chip roll-ups, and you can slice them into bite-sized pieces, and you can enjoy them, after school, a little treat maybe for dessert after lunch. But they're very yummy, and peanut butter and the banana, that's good stuff for you. All right, I hope you enjoyed these 2 books about food and silliness in general, and then I hope you'll enjoy making this very easy treat that's coming up. All right, have a great day. See you soon. Bye.